Have opinions on the intersection of your JavaScript frameworks and how people are using it on mobile, like Android, iPhone, BlackBerry, Symbian?
I don't have any statements. John's got some cool jQuery mobile stuff coming up. Dojo's had a mobile variant for a long time, but it's all about. So we're basically coming to the agreement that the existing library for the browser is basically crippled by IE, and our code base can be a lot smaller. Like if we just kind of drop that, so we'll probably have an entirely different subset of APIs that are useful in that context.
Or IE6 free.
Basically, yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, that at least in the case of jQuery, we're opting actually not to do that. We're actually not shipping a stripped down build. So that was something that I originally thought would be interesting, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think there's too much value in having a unified copy of jQuery that will work everywhere, guaranteed, both desktop and mobile. There's just way too much value in that.
You think, even with the number of browsers or the mobile browsers that you're going to have to do edge cases for and stuff, this is going to work out?
Absolutely. I mean, because with mobile browsers, for example, if you're going to support Windows Mobile, you're supporting IE6 and IE7.
Right.
So, what do you strip? You can't strip anything out.
Right.
And if you're supporting Symbian S60 version 3, you're supporting Safari 2. So we actually have to go back and reintroduce Safari 2 support into jQuery because we removed it because it's a stupid browser. And
so I mean, I guess it gets back to the same argument. Is Symbian 2 Symbian worth supporting for Safari 2 support because of the market share? Did we drop IE5 for a reason?
Ed, what do you think? Any opinions on mobile testing?
Nothing I can talk about.
Oh, really? What are you not going to talk about?
Everything.
I unfortunately have to leave.
Oh,
I'm doing this talk.
You have a talk.
In 8 minutes.
Let's see if there's anything.
I got a question for you guys. I don't know if any of you looked at this, but the real bitch in mobile is touch events are pretty close but totally different. Well, these various devices, especially Android to iPhone, they're super close. They're almost the same.
Actually, the worst part about it is that all of your tests still pass. But they don't actually work because you can fire those events on the off. You just can't with the UI.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone say goodbye to
Bye, Peter.
If you're really bored, I've got a great talk coming up here in the next 5 minutes.
It's just JavaScript.
It's just fucking.
All right. Cool, thanks. I've got some other points here, but I guess at this point, we're officially over in 5 minutes, so should we continue this thread, or are there any other questions?
Here's some Google app.
Sorry.
Well, we have looked at mobile a bit. I'm not going to give any secrets away. The touch events, like you say, are the main problem. And the biggest problem is that they're not sensible in the way they're implemented. Multi-touch is the particular problem with it. If you put 2 fingers down on an iPad, say, and lift one of them up, it doesn't tell you you've lifted one of them up. It tells you you've lifted both of them up. And that gives an enormous problem. And until they fix that, and they're aware of it and have fixed it, I think, in WebKit already, hopefully it makes it into iPhone OS 4. But until they fix that, it's going to make testing it very difficult.
Yeah, but you can't depend on that kind of normalization. If you look at the events graph for Firefox Mobile, you realize how different every single piece of hardware is, even when it's on the same device. And the way that they fire those events translates directly into the browser download method. There's not much difference in Firefox's case.
Yeah, it's a hard problem.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, the worst part is that you can still fire double-click download it. You just can't ever get it to fire with these anchors.
I would say that our job was easy enough, quote unquote easy, when we've been living with click and double click and right click, left click for 30 years, whatever it is. And now we've got touch and swipe and pinch and zoom and oh god. Yeah. This is terrible. We haven't even figured it out, just click. Maybe we got that right across all these other platforms. Now we've got these multi-touch is going to be a pain in the ass. On that happy note, any other questions?
State of the art.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I kind of look at this as being in this testing field. Testing is a lagging indicator of a successful platform. In the beginning, there was the flatulence iPhone apps, and they didn't do any testing, or you got games, all kinds of crazy things. And then at some point, real companies do real boring time expense apps. And at that point, they get serious and have a QA department and all kinds of stuff. And then that's where when things are real. But at this point, so I think actually people are doing real stuff with multi-touch now. iPhone's been around for a while, and now it scares me because now I have to deal with it now. Any other questions, comments, beers to throw, tomatoes to launch?
I had a quick comment about following on to John.